Hi, here's a look at the market through one of the tools that we use at eMiniDayTrader.com, which is the overlay profiles. So um, what we're looking at right here is a market profile and volume profile for the entire week. And as you can see, it also shows the preceding 3 weeks. So this, for example, the value area that's shown right here, this was the value area going into today. And so we knew that as the market had moved from here a few weeks, or the next week moved higher after spending some time in here, then moved higher. Spent most of last week up here. It had that big dip because of the Dubai crisis, and then opened up on Friday, and then Monday also traded in this area, and then went higher for the rest of the week. We did have a bit of a dip, and we came down to the value area today. So these are some of the tools that we use from a little bit of a longer time frame perspective in order for us to go ahead and enter our day trades. We also like to look, of course, at the market profiles each day, and that's what we're looking at right here. So here is the individual profile for today with its accompanying volume profile. This next one over here is what occurred overnight. Overnight meaning up until 9:30 a.m. And as you can see, most of the market traded in this area overnight and then shot up really quickly once the news was released at 8:30 this morning. And as you can see, the market opened there in the regular trading hours, rallied up initially, and then had a really good sell-off, and actually tested and exceeded not only the so-called overnight high as it went up higher here, but also the overnight low, and then came all the way up here to close. So a very volatile session, and we've been getting those lately, and it looks as though this kind of activity is really suggesting that we're about to break from here pretty darn soon. And we're actually looking at the break probably to the upside, although with this kind of give and take back and forth, it's sometimes difficult to determine that ahead of time. But we did make several new highs this week, was on increasing volume, so it looks pretty positive. So you can see here the market opened in here, it rallied up. That was our first trade right in here, and that one worked out very nice, reaching our first two objectives. On a pullback into here, though, we were stopped out on that trade. So unfortunately, we did get stopped out on one trade today. As the market sold off, we did get short again in here, and unfortunately, we have a rule that we want to reach our first objective in 10 minutes, and it actually hit it, I think, on like the 11th minute and then came back up. But so we ended up with a break even on this trade. Although you can see our short trade, this is our third trade of the day, and this was a short trade. The first trade was a long trade. I'm sorry, the first and second trades were long trades. This is our third trade of the day. It was short. And so those that were looking at this a little bit beyond just our systematic trades would have realized that this kind of range extension down was probably going to be met with additional selling at that key level in there, and it was. And of course, it had a really good strong down move. So we came just within a hair actually of getting short in here. Actually two trades in here. We did get short after it had sold off down into here, but ended up with a break even or possibly a 2-tick loss on that trade. You can see it went up in here, came down, tested the low, and then had that additional pretty strong move up to finish the day. So obviously we're looking at in the approximately 8 to 10 area as resistance, which is just above where the market is right here. So we're looking at this area right in here as the first immediate resistance, and then with some support down here. Well, the really major support, of course, doesn't come in until approximately the 98 area, and that was the support that we were actually looking at today from a longer time frame basis to try and get long. So that support in there, initial resistance here, and then again we also have some additional resistance up here at approximately the 13 level. So that's what we're looking at going into next week. We still have a preference on the long side, and so that's what we will keep monitoring, these price levels and whether or not the market can actually go ahead and hold for a considerable length of time in the close of the day above 13. So that's really what we're looking at right now. So thanks for taking the time to look at our video today. I hope that helped you out a little bit. Any questions or comments, just get a hold of us at info@eMiniDayTrader.com. And have a good weekend.